Our next speaker will actually be on a positive note, discussing the Sudan, which has repealed its apostasy law. It was just an amazing, sudden, in certain respects, sudden change in that country of Sudan last year in July. So we have with us to tell us what the repeal is currently meaning in Sudan. We have with us Kamal Fahmi of Set My People Free. He will be participating virtually by Zoom.
Welcome.
It is great to be with you and to listen to the pleas for abolishing these laws. I think abolishing apostasy and blasphemy law is basic for religious freedom. Without it, there is no religious freedom. And I think when Sudan abolished the apostasy law, Sudan endorsed Article 18 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, because with having these laws, there is no application of Article 18, and without Article 18, there is no religious freedom. And so it is very basic for religious freedom to abolish apostasy law, because then you have the right to change your religion. You have the right to have freedom of thought, conscience, and belief. And the second thing, which is important, which happened to Sudan now with the abolishing of apostasy law, that it gives ex-Muslims the right to exist. As we heard from our brothers and sisters who shared earlier, that apostasy law deny the individual ex-Muslim from the right to exist when the apostasy law is applied. So now in Sudan, the ex-Muslim has the right to exist. He has his full civil right as an individual, as a citizen of the country. The Sudanese individual today is free to live in Sudan as an ex-Muslim. It gives freedom to the descendant of a Muslim father to choose their belief. So somebody like Maryam will have the freedom now to live as a non-Muslim, because descendants of Muslim parents, they don't have the right. They are automatically Muslims. They don't have the right to live Islam, even if they are adults. And the third thing, it gives women from Muslim background the freedom to marry non-Muslims, because according to the law now, a Muslim woman cannot marry a non-Muslim, the law before. But when you abolish apostasy law, when the apostasy law is abolished in Sudan, it gives the freedom for a woman from a Muslim background to marry a non-Muslim. The other things, it protects the convert or the ones who leave Islam from death sentence. You see, before, like Mahmoud Muhammad Taha was executed because he had a different sect. He had the Republican sect, and he was accused of apostasy, and he was executed in 1985. So this, when the apostasy law is abolished in Sudan today, it gives the freedom, the right for the person to exist, and it abolished the capital punishment. And actually the Republicans now, they started to meet again freely and practice their faith in Sudan. Even actually one of the Republicans who are part of this sect became the Minister of Education for some time. Now he has resigned not so long ago, but so they can meet, they can practice their faith now freely. The other thing, today you have the freedom not to believe in Prophet Muhammad. So before, if you say I don't believe in Prophet Muhammad, you can be accused of blasphemy or be accused of apostasy if you are a Muslim. So today you have the right also to reject Sharia law. It is, before, if you reject Sharia law, it is considered a crime, and you are accused of blasphemy, and you may face death. So with abolishing apostasy law, and also they takfir, people who, another individual, which is accusing somebody of blasphemy, it gives the freedom to, for example, if you don't like cutting of hand and you say cutting of hand is bad, You have the right, you can say that today without facing punishment. Also, it opens the door for proclamation and practice of other religions or beliefs, or unbelief is not crime. Because before abolishing apostasy and blasphemy law, if you do proclaim your faith or try to lead others to your own faith or encourage people to be atheists, you face problem, because even now in Algeria, people have been put in prison because they are accused of shaking the faith of Muslims. So actually, abolishing apostasy law and blasphemy law is very basic for the application of Article 18. With it, you cannot really have religious freedom. And again, it protects the individual from totalitarian regime of one party, which lead to tyrannical, oppressive, repressive, one-party kind of regime. And we have seen this with the testimony from Iran, from Mauritania. So it is really key. And we are very thankful for what has happened in Sudan. And I think the revolution which happened in 2019 was very key in bringing this, because they were seeking three things. They were seeking freedom, they were seeking justice, and they were seeking peace. And so it was very crucial to abolish this law. And so we are very thankful that it happened. It is very crucial that it happened and that it was stopped. And actually, I was just in Sudan 2 weeks ago, and I met with the Minister of Justice, incredible person, Dr. Al-Bari, who is the Minister of Justice, and his stand for justice and freedom and for religious freedom is really encouraging. And he shared with us this. We sat for 3 hours and talked about different issues. And we thank him for what he has done. He's a courageous man, and also a scholar in really. So here he shared with us this statement from Martin Luther King, because Dr. Martin Luther King, because many people say, "Oh, changing the laws does not help," but he said like this. He said this statement from Dr. Martin Luther. He said, "Morality cannot be legislated, but behavior can be regulated. The judicial decrees may not change the heart, but they can restrain the heartless." So changing the laws are very key. And we thank the government, the civil government in Sudan, in taking these steps to abolish these laws. And we really, we also ask other countries which are applying these laws to abolish it, as our friend from Mauritania has mentioned today many times, that they have death sentence in Mauritania, they have death sentence in Libya. And our hope, these laws will be abolished, because these laws are taking away freedom for over 1.3 billion Muslims. They don't have the freedom to change belief. And the first step to give religious freedom is to help to change the laws, as Dr. Martin Luther King mentioned here, because it will restrain the heartless. And our friends from Muslim backgrounds, they face always the fear of death sentence, and these laws stand like a threat on their life, and strip them from the right to live and exist as non-Muslims.